Hello guys, welcome to my film critique presentation. I am Rodmar Eli Valenzuela Ador, and today we'll be reviewing or analyze the Disney's live-action remake of the 1998 Disney's animated film, Mulan. Disney's animated film Mulan actually has a special place in my heart. I remember my first time watching it, I was in kindergarten. I actually enjoyed the parts of Eddie Murphy as the dragon, loving all the parts. I personally think that Mulan had the most potential out of all the other Disney animated properties to get a live-action remake. And here we finally have the 2020's live-action remake, Mulan. This film is about a young Chinese woman who is fearful that her ailing father will be drafted into the Chinese military. Mulan takes his spot, though as a girl living under a patriarchal regime. She is technically unqualified to serve. She clearly impersonates a man and goes off to train with fellow recruits. She uses her smarts to help ward off a Han invasion. There are a lot of problems with the pacing because it feels so rushed. In this movie, Mulan is actually perfect in every way, even from childhood. But it leads to this scene where she fails to bring honor to her family. It's such an embarrassing scene. Mulan's sister made a mistake and the matchmaker says that it's Mulan's fault. There is no sense of failure and guilt that comes from Mulan or personal development after that disaster because it just cuts straight to the army recruiting. And that's a missed opportunity to see her get to have a nice relationship with her father and see the beauty of her coping with her internal struggle before she decides to take his father's place in the military. It feels like it rushes to the climax and it misses the opportunity to show the audience the family dynamic or closeness of Mulan with her family. And when she wore her father's armor to take his place in the military, it wasn't that impactful. There is no sense of danger and urgency because she just makes the decision in just a few seconds without taking time to contemplate her decision. Now, let's move on to the next scene where she is in the military training as perfect as she can be, pretending to be a male. The problem with this scene is that this whole montage is that we don't get that feeling of struggle in Mulan. Because throughout her training, Mulan is just perfect. She never fails any of her training sessions. And when she starts to impress people, it's not even remotely satisfying to see. As she did not have to struggle for it, I did not see her learn to become a warrior and see the rest of the other characters become warriors too. This movie showed us that right at the beginning, Mulan, since her childhood as a kid, she has already been very skillful and strong. This just kills her entire character arc. Because by making her strong right at the beginning, they are pretty much depriving her of importance of character development. By making her strong right at the beginning means that her journey is already 95% over. And one thing that I want to mention that made me really hate this movie, they removed my very old friend Eddie Murphy who voice acted Mushu, my little red dragon. This made the film really boring. And so I could say that the director of this movie has a very poor interpretation of the character of Mulan. And watching this movie from the beginning, I actually had that feeling that this actor that played Mulan is going to suck portraying her character, and I was right. And I didn't even once look at her and even think that this is Mulan, not even once, because her performance is so stiff and dull. And the side characters in the movie are very boring, irrelevant, and had no personality at all. The problem of this movie is that there is no sense of failure, there is no sense of struggle. Because from the start of the movie, she is already perfect, and there is no point in training her in the military because there is nothing that is taught to her that she applied in the final battle of this movie. We don't get to see Mulan learn from a blank slate become a warrior. One thing that bothers me in this film is that the women empowerment aspect demands that the character of Mulan be an emotionless plank of wood because somehow it is meant to showcase strength and empowerment. And the more I think about it, it gets even worse. She is already skillful and powerful as the movie starts. She is told by her father to keep her power in check and to not fully embrace the true extent of her abilities. This is what happens if we are going to attach a political motivation for having directed the film, because all of the downsides will come with it if it fails. If I were the director or the writer of the film, I would definitely change the entire story, starting off with Mulan making her imperfect person from the beginning of the movie so that the audience can relate to her, and as the story progresses, she learns how to become a warrior, and she learns from her mistakes, applies the things that she has learned into battle, and that would make it more and seem realistic, and that there would have a magical feeling of this fictional character become alive. Add a little bit of fun and humor so that the audience will enjoy this time watching the film. Adding a bit of blood, like gore. And to sum up this review, I would probably describe the movie in one word, and that would be bad. I enjoyed talking to you guys. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I hope I get to see you again next time. Bye bye. See ya.